Alright, so guys, welcome back to a new video on East Coast Manga. So today I want to talk about a video idea that I didn't actually come up with. I'm basically taking inspiration from Boogie Snacks and the video that he made. I thought it was a very interesting video, and the video is basically 10 things that I wish I knew before I started collecting manga. So if you want to check out his original video, I will try my best to remember to put it in the description, but if I don't put it in the description, just go over to his channel. It'll be probably one of his last couple of videos. And once again, I thought it was a really creative idea. I just want to make my own video off my own personal experiences and, you know, kind of add on to the stuff that he talked about. So no particular order, I'm going to go down the list of 10 things that I wish I knew before I started collecting, and I think this is going to help a lot of people who are just starting to collect, or, you know, are just now building their collection or thinking about getting into, you know, collecting or buying manga. The number one thing, and once again, no particular order, but the number one thing that came to mind was to buy used manga and to look for used manga. When I first started collecting, I was, you know, heavily shopping Barnes and Nobles, and at first I was just shopping and just buying things for straight up retail, and then, you know, I came to the conclusion that sometimes they have sales, so, you know, there was a sale that happened, I think it was a Viz sale, so I picked up some stuff there, but at the same time, I wasn't buying used, you know, until months into collecting. And although it's great to purchase things for retail, it's also really great to save money sometimes, and the fact that I wasn't even thinking to look, you know, on things like Facebook or Mercari or, you know, OfferUp or Letgo, but the fact I wasn't looking for used manga to purchase, you know, in person or to purchase online, I probably could have saved a lot more money, and I probably missed out on some pretty good deals. Number two is not knowing about Right Stuff Anime. Now, once again, I am not partnered with them, but they did sponsor my giveaway, but this has nothing to do with that. It's just the fact I didn't know about Right Stuff, and, you know, I was paying full price at Barnes & Nobles where I could have been paying, you know, $8 for a Viz book, or, you know, $9 and change for a more expensive manga. I definitely could have saved a lot more money considering I was buying retail anyways. So if you want to go down the retail route for, you know, any series or any manga, I would definitely check out Right Stuff, because, you know, a lot of things aren't always in stock, but if they are in stock, it's usually for a pretty good price, so I do recommend checking them out. And I wish I, you know, had a little more research done. Number three is libraries. Now, to be honest, I still don't really take advantage of libraries, but I'm happy I at least know about them, and the fact that they carry manga. I would have had no idea until someone told me that libraries would have had manga. And I'm someone who, you know, I don't really like rent books and stuff like that, but it could be such an amazing thing for someone who, you know, doesn't mind renting books to go down to the library and, you know, pick up some physical manga. I don't know about, you know, my libraries personally, but I've seen some people's libraries where, like, the libraries are up to date on certain series, like, you know, new series, and it's super surprising. So once again, although I don't really take full advantage of it, I know a lot of people do, so if that's something you're interested in, I totally recommend checking out your libraries. Number four would be buying series outside of shonen. So when I first started collecting, I was buying a lot of shonen, whether it was The Promised Neverland or My Hero Academia or Hunter x Hunter or, I don't know, Black Clover. Like, I was primarily buying shonen, and although there's nothing wrong with shonen and those are all really good series, I feel like right now I'm kind of finding the type of manga that I really enjoy, which is, you know, kind of darker psychological manga, which you don't really see in shonen that much. So although it took me a little while to get there, I definitely could have started there a little sooner if I, you know, knew about all these, you know, all these other series and how good they were, and, you know, the fact that I should have probably made it a little more diverse. Number five would be to start with smaller series. So, you know, once again, I kind of got into the shonen realm, which, like, shonen can go on forever and ever, as we see with One Piece. It has like 94 volumes, 95 volumes, something like that. So my piece of advice for people who are just getting into manga collecting is maybe start with a smaller series, whether it be shonen or seinen or, you know, shoujo, or, you know, doesn't matter. I recommend starting with a small series and, you know, gradually going into a bigger series. Number six, I wish I knew about MAL and their rating system a lot sooner. Not that I totally rely on MAL, and in some series that I really enjoy are rated as like a 7 point whatever on there, but I wish I knew about it just in the fact that, like, there's a lot of series that I didn't know anything about, and, you know, I didn't know if they were good, I didn't know if they were bad, and I didn't really know a lot of people to, you know, ask about that. So I think MAL, if I knew about it sooner, could have been, you know, a much better stepping stone into, you know, really, you know, should I collect this manga? Should I go buy this deal? And I'm sure sometimes I made some judgment calls that weren't that great, and I didn't really, you know, I probably should have waited and not, you know, paid this for the series because it really wasn't that great. And, you know, Mal wasn't lying when it came to that. But just another thing that I wish I kind of knew more about. Number 7 would be to look for and investigate more local stores. Like I said, I was big on Barnes & Nobles, I was big on Newbury Comics. I didn't know about anyone else who sold manga. I didn't know that stores that sold manga were typically labeled as comic stores, and I definitely could have built my connections earlier. I could have, enjoyed shopping in person more, because Barnes & Nobles, they always have like the worst selection in terms of like the volumes. It'll be like volumes 1 and then 4 and then like 7 and then 8, 9 and then like 13, and it'd just be a horrible selection. So something I wish I did, but I also recommend to anyone who's getting into it, look for comic stores in your area, because if a store sells manga, it's probably not going to be labeled a manga store, it's probably going to be labeled a comic store. Number 8 would be to shop for completed series. This is something I wish I did, because I think I would have gotten a little more satisfaction out of it and a little less confusion. When you're shopping for ongoing series, sometimes it can drain a lot more out of your wallet than you thought. When you're first getting to manga, you don't know how long these series run for. You don't know that My Hero Academia is going to run for 25 plus volumes, whereas when you look at a completed series, it's, you see, okay, this is how much it is, this is how many volumes it is, this is how I can spread out my money. Also, when you pick up some, when you first start collecting, you pick up all these different series. So, my bad example is picking up 20th Century Boys, because, I picked up volume 1 and I read it, but I was also reading so much other stuff that, now I don't remember what happened, and I'm having to like catch up. So if you're buying all these different series, I highly recommend you pick up completed ones, so you can read it and know what happens and remember what happens, and then by the end, it's done. Whereas, now I'm gonna have to go back and, keep collecting 20th Century Boys, but I don't even remember what happened in volume 1. Number 9 would be protecting my manga, and I know Boogie kind of talked about this a little bit too, but I have a system of protecting my manga that I didn't start doing until, probably a couple months ago. And, the way that my manga is set up is it's set up directly in the sunlight, and I can't do anything about that. That's just the way that my room's set up. I have, no other space to put it where it's not facing the 2 windows. So, and I didn't really know about how much that damages manga. So, I don't think I really damaged my manga too much, because, because it really wasn't over an extended period of time. And for a while, I usually kept my shades closed anyways. But now with my new system of protecting my manga, I can have my shades wide open, and I don't have to worry about any damage whatsoever. If you guys are interested in how I do that, it's super cheap, super effective. I can make, a little video showing you guys how I do that. If you're interested in that, just leave it down in the comments and I can definitely do that for you. But sunlight definitely just absolutely destroys manga. It turns it yellow faster, and it also really fades the spines. And then number 10 would be to take advantage of seasonal sales and, wait to buy expensive manga, for those seasonal sales, whether it's Barnes & Nobles or Right Stuff or any other type of website that does seasonal sales, because typically you can get whatever manga you want for a much lower price. And that's of course if you go on the retail route. I would highly recommend waiting for holiday sales, because that's usually when the best deals are out there. But obviously once those sales hit, I would hit them up as soon as possible. I wouldn't wait, because people do go crazy for those, and a lot of people do wait for those sales. So that's it for this video. Those are the 10 tips that I wish I knew before I started collecting manga. I hope those help you guys for new manga readers or continuing manga readers and collectors. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, so I will catch you guys later.